Hello and welcome to my channel where we are making a gourmet tasting dessert using a box mix. And today we are making a delicious Oreo ice cream pie, so stick around while we make something boxed, but better. For this dessert we are using the Oreo no-bake dessert kit. Inside are 3 packages. One is the Oreo cookie pieces, the other is the crust, and the other is the pie filling mix. We are setting aside the cookie bits and crust and using the pie filling mix for the ice cream first. This bit is optional. If you would like to make a whipped topping to go on top of your ice cream pie, remove 1 tablespoon of the Oreo no-bake filling and put it in a bowl and set that to the side. If you don't want to do that, then just keep the entire package. It doesn't make a large enough difference to be noticed, and pour that into your bowl. Then we are going to add 1 pint of heavy whipping cream. In the US, heavy whipping cream is often sold in 1 pint containers, so I don't even have to measure. However, if you cannot find a 1 pint container, then you can measure out 2 cups or 16 ounces. Follow that up with 2 cups of whole milk, and then mix it on a medium speed until the mixture is well incorporated. It's okay if you still see a few lumps. It doesn't have to be perfect. It will all mix out in the ice cream machine. Pour the mixture into your ice cream machine. You'll notice it's pretty thick on top. Don't worry, like I said, it will all incorporate once it gets churned together in the ice cream mixer. Since ice cream mixers are different depending on the brand, I will just say to use it according to your instructions. This recipe churns into ice cream pretty quickly. It took about 30 minutes for mine to be done. And the Oreo pie filling mix that is added to this actually creates a really nice, smooth, and soft serve type of ice cream. And now we will work on our pie crust while we wait for our ice cream to finish. For my crust, I am using half a stick of butter, which I just learned that the size of butter is not actually universal. That kind of blew my mind. So to be a little more specific, this is 4 tablespoons of butter that I am cutting, which I then put into a microwave-safe bowl and microwaved it until it was melted. It took me about 30 seconds. After that, you are going to take the package number 1, which is your Oreo crust mix, and add that to your butter. And then I let my impulse of thoughts win, and I poked it, which was super satisfying. I'm feeding this to my family. I'm really not that worried about it. Anyways, mix your crust into your butter. This will be really buttery, really moist. If you just think this is a little overkill on the butter, you can reduce your amount of butter by 1 tablespoon. I'm just a super big fan of butter, and I love the way the crust comes out, especially when it's frozen. Once your crust is thoroughly mixed into your butter, pour it into a 9-inch pie plate. Now, disclaimer, this is not a 9-inch pie plate. Long story short, I couldn't use my pie plate, so this is actually a 10-inch tart pan. So my pie is just going to come out a little thinner. It's not going to be as thick as what the original recipe intends for. It also made it a little harder to spread the crumbs around because I had to cover a wider surface. It's fine though. Once you get your crumbs patted down, it is time to place this in the freezer while you wait for the ice cream to finish. You will see here that it's thickened up beautifully. About 3 to 5 minutes before your ice cream is officially done, add your Oreo cookie pieces and let them mix in thoroughly. Once it is ready, remove your pie crust from the freezer and scoop your ice cream on top. And then using a spoon, spatula, whatever works best for you, spread the ice cream all the way to the edges of your pie plate. Once again, don't get caught up in trying to make it perfect, just relatively level. And once you have it completely spread out, place it back in the freezer where you can let it set up, or you can make your whipped topping. For the whipped topping, we are going to use the 1 tablespoon of Oreo pie filling that we had put to the side and add 1 cup of heavy whipping cream, a half tablespoon of granulated sugar, a half teaspoon of vanilla extract, and then we are going to mix this on a high speed until our whipped cream is thick and fluffy. You know you have reached the right consistency when you can see the trail left by the beaters in the whipped cream. Scoop your whipped cream on top. It is best to let the ice cream set up in the freezer for about 1 hour before doing this part, because then it is easier to smooth your whipped cream over the surface. Using a spatula or a spoon or even a butter knife, whatever you have on hand, spread your whipped cream by pushing it in a side-to-side motion instead of pulling it. This will help it to spread evenly as well as not pull against the ice cream. You can really just leave it like this. You don't have to get fancy with it. However, if you would like to get fancy with it, Here are a few designs that you can do with whipped cream. The first design, you are dragging a spatula or a spoon all the way across from one end to the other in a left-right motion going diagonally, sort of like a V shape. You don't want to dig too deep down because then you will hit the ice cream underneath, but if you do it just firm enough, you'll have this really cool rigid texture. The nice thing about whipped cream is that it's forgiving, so if you don't like the design or if you messed up, you can just smooth it over and try something new. For the second design, I am making one large arching swoop and then 3 more underneath it. I repeat this pattern, going all the way down, trying to make sure my arches are going in between the ones that are above it. Once again, make sure you don't go too deep with your spatula or else you'll hit the ice cream underneath, but when you're done, it's a beautiful design that looks sort of like ocean waves to me. For the third one, starting at the top of your pan and making sure your spatula reaches all the way to the sides, go in a swooping motion all the way down. I like the simple beauty of this one, and it's great if you're in a hurry. For the fourth design, we are going to do the swooping arch motion again, but this time instead of going down, we are going around. Once you have completed the outward edge, we are going to repeat this pattern in layers, going further and further in every time until it meets in the middle. Try to make sure that your arches aren't lining up perfectly, but instead are staggered in between the arches that were above it. For more clean and crisp design, you can scrape off your spatula in between to make sure that the whipped cream does not build up on it. And once we have completed this design, you'll notice that it looks very reminiscent of a blossoming rose. Once you choose your whipped cream design, or just throw some whipped cream on there, let it chill for about 3 hours in the freezer before serving. Another fast and simple decorating idea that looks equally delicious is to spread Oreo cookie pieces on the top of your pie. I'm doing mine around the edge to help complement the design that I did on the whipped cream. Remember, this is for eating. Have fun with it. I mean, yes, we do want it to look nice, but we just want to enjoy the flavor. So decorate it how you want, or skip to the fun part and just eat it. Okay, I know a lot of you ask for a big reveal of what it looks like on the inside. I did not let this set for 3 hours like I do recommend you do, so mine was a little soft. However, you know, we're just gonna have fun with this and show you what it looks like, which, spoiler alert, it looks like ice cream with Oreos. I will tell you this though, the first slice is generally harder to get out. Once you get the first slice out, the other ones are a lot easier. But that first slice is a bit of a beast. You kind of got to wiggle your fork or your knife underneath it just to loosen up the pie crust, and then you can pull it out. Alright, now that we have that first slice out, here is what it looks like. Yummy. Ooh and ah. Am I right? Wait, focus. There we go. And even though my pie slice came out thin because I did not do it in an 8-inch pie plate, my children still devoured it and begged for seconds. And there we have it, our delicious ice cream Oreo pie. Thank you for joining me. I had a lot of fun, and I hope you did too. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the comment section below, and I will do my best to answer them, and I will see you next time on Boxed But Better with Jenna. And there we have it, our delicious... It's been a while. What is this?